Yeah, your
Yeah,
word.
it was good.
Yes, lots of food for thought for me. Seriously.
Oh, good. I
Yeah,
was just like,
that's how I am too. And so it translates, but I just have to like let it sit in. Did you see I sent out the badge anyways?
yes. You're, I mean, I'm a lot like that as well, so I understand why you did it. You're like, if it's this easy, I can just take care of it. So I did.
Yeah, but it's been something that's been that easy for a long time. And in my head, I kept trying to make it bigger and like, oh, wait, is this the way to deliver it? Is this, you know what? Just get it out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to get done. Cami, hi, girl.
Hard.
Oh, hey. Oh, where are you going? Where are you off to? I think you're muted. Probably, probably gonna go
My,
buy all
my
of the.
husband was on my husband was on the phone, so I just switched over. I'm like, hey, put yours on your AirPods. But no, we've been I have 5 flips going on right now. So we went to a bunch of them today. Yes.
Oh,
Yep. So we've been out driving around to our different properties.
that's amazing. That is so
Yeah.
cool. You never cease to impress me. I'm just like, ugh, that's so crazy. And I know that everything you have to like say and offer is gonna at the business and brunch is gonna be like, it's everything everybody wants to do. Like their own HGTV. Like you're doing it.
I really am actually. We watch the rehab and flip shows sometimes. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
yep, that's what we do. That's what we do every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you
So
need a production crew. That's all.
that's right. Needed somebody to just follow me around with a camera to
That
see what I
easy.
do.
Yeah, no, it's that easy. I'm excited for you. It's going to be amazing. We're just waiting on a few more. I don't think Talibra is going to be joining us for the panel discussion. I think she's going through some health issues, so she may not be a part of it. Which is totally fine because we were going to be kind of scrunched up on the couches anyway, so this is even better. So, but I'm not sure. I'm waiting for her to confirm. I'm waiting for her to confirm. We'll see. We also have Nadia. Let me make sure because I just texted her, or she was texting me, so she better be on here. Girl, exclamation point. Where are you? Period. We're in the Zoom, period. Okay. So she's been on the panel for the last few years because she's the KBW attorney.
I'm
And
here.
oh, there you are, girl. Okay. I was texting you, like, where are you?
Like, who texts like, "Hey, where are you?" Period.
I know, I know.
You are hilarious. You
Everybody's
serious?
here. Okay, Emily's here. Okay, now I just stretched it out. Now I see everybody. Okay, Susan, Emily, Paula, Nadia, Cami. Okay, awesome. Thank you, ladies, for being here. I'm so excited. I'm crazy enough to do this again. Nadia.
That part.
Uh-huh. And so I am just so happy that you are going to be a part of it, each one of you, with your expertise. I know you have so much incredible knowledge and pearls of wisdom to offer, and it's going to be awesome. Christine, I met with her earlier because she had an engagement, so she wasn't able to make it, but I did record hers. This is being recorded just so you have it to refer back to. So I will be sending it out just in case. And so we'll go ahead and get started. So Kingwood Business and Women in Brunch, Business and Brunch is our largest event that we have at the beginning of the month of March. It is kind of kicks off Women's International History Month, and it's pretty amazing. It's very powerful, very uplifting, lots of business activity. And a lot of women who are all in the professional arena and from different industries that are interested in the different things that you do and that might help their business. And so I try to pick someone that's amazing in their industry. So we have Suzanne, who's accounting CPA and does amazing things. She's, has a 10, is it 10, Suzanne? Why don't I let you all introduce yourselves? You do it, Suzanne.
Oh, okay.
Sounds good. I know I've met some of y'all, but I know we all haven't met yet. So I'm Susan Byers, and I have Byersley CPA practice in Kingwood. We serve clients for bookkeeping and tax all over the Houston area and beyond. We're in our 6th year after acquiring an existing firm. And so right now, I used to have 10, but now there's 9 of us. I had one retire recently and we haven't rehired, but so there's 9 of us. So I have 8 amazing members of my team, and we just happen to all be female. So yeah, we have 5 CPAs on staff, and then some amazing bookkeepers as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, you do it so much better. So Emily, you go. Okay. Oh, there you got it. I think I hear. No, I don't hear you. It still says you're muted. I'm going to ask you. Maybe it'll give you a prompt if I hit this button.
Thank you.
There it goes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I kept hitting unmute and it was not working. Anywho, my name is Emily Ray. I'm a hairstylist, but also a salon owner. I own Era Beauty Lounge in Kings Harbor by Sharky's and all of that lovely area right by the lake. I've been in the industry for over 15 years and I had a dream and I chased it. I don't have a degree. I did not go to school for business, but I figured it all out on my own.
Amazing. And she leads a huge team as well. So
oh, yes.
Amazing. Yeah. And it's a great location and it's beautiful and you have a brand you built around it. So I think it's amazing, especially at, younger
yes.
generation.
Entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Yeah. Entrepreneurs that I think that really speaks to them. So thank you so much, Emily. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, babe. All right, Cammie, you go, girl. And don't hold back, Cammie, because I know you try to.
I'll try. I am in the car with my husband, but I do own 60 single family homes that I rent out, and I'm flipping 5 homes. But I did start coaching women on how to do real estate investing. And at one point, there was this thing where I was working with this guy that buys businesses, and he wanted to do this attorney thing. So I do have a little bit of a interaction with your law group here, but that was not the best interaction because I don't work with them anymore. Oh. But now I'm back to my thing that I do good and do well. But yes, I have how many people on my team now? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 people on my team, but then I of course have my individual contractors, like my flooring people, my window people, my roofing people. So I have my construction team basically that I have also. But it's growing. I love it. I love leveraging, investing, creating passive income. And it's way easier than you think it is. And I've done it for 12 years.
Oh my goodness.
So I love it. Yes.
And you have like 500 properties now, don't you?
I have, 60 that I've held on to. I've done over 500. Taken over deeds. So I take over debt on homes. Like I'll take over a payment on a loan. Mm-hmm. I don't go get a new loan. I usually just take over their payment. Then I get the ownership or the deed to the property. And that's why I can get so many and flip them, because I'm not qualifying for all of these loans. I'm making payments on all of them. I'm not assuming the loan either. It's like assuming the loan, but I'm not assuming it. So I'm not responsible legally for any of these payments, but I own the houses.
That's awesome.
And it's amazing. It really is. And CPA, it's been hard to find a really good CPA, by the way, that knows how to do real estate. I do have one, but she's so far, I would love for her to get me caught up. I'm still behind. We've had her for 3 years. So I may be looking to switch.
Yes.
So I'll let you know.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
I'll connect you to via email after.
That would be awesome. But no, networking, connecting people. Life has so much to offer. And I want to help people figure out how they can just thrive in life instead of just working the hamster wheel every day. So I love it. I love what I'm doing.
I love that. Thank you so much. So true. And she also has her own association, education for your industry too. So that's awesome. Thank you, Cami.
Oh, and also they did, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Invest Her, but they asked me to be a mentor for them on Invest Her. And they're like all over the United States and in Canada, a women's investor group. Yeah. So that's really cool.
That is cool. I didn't know that. Awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of a new thing that just happened in February. Yes.
Woo. Yeah, we're still in
Yeah.
February. Yeah. Okay, Nadia.
Yes.
Nadia, your turn.
Oh, okay. So I'm Nadia Ackley. I'm the principal for Ackley Law. I manage 7 different attorneys. We do IP, patent, trademark, copyright. We're corporate counsel for various businesses. We do all their contracts. We deal with all their employees. We terminate them when they don't want to. All the things. We're not HR, but we step in when we have to. So think membership like Netflix. We just handle everything for all businesses. We work with a lot of small owned businesses, but we also have like multi-million-dollar corporations as well as like a billionaire in Houston. So it just varies.
Yeah, I love it. And she's KBW's attorney. She's done our trademark, our registration, Houston studio.
Yeah, Houston studio.
Yeah, all my stuff. And I call her a lot. And we play pickleball together.
And we play pickleball. That's
Well, Nadia, hopefully we can start over on our whole thing. It wasn't awful, but I was with that other attorney group, and that is not me, by the way. That is them.
Yeah.
So,
what attorney
so hopefully
group?
we can start over on a new thing.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what attorney group, but let's do it.
Yes.
And I have Paula in the room, and Paula has kind of stepped in and kind of like let me be like kind of tell her all this stuff of everything's going on. She's kind of keeping my brain sane right now with KBW and the event. And she's got a lot of experience in the events. But go ahead, Paula, and introduce yourself and helping me and everything that you're doing.
Sure. So yeah, my name is Paula. I am newer to KBW, but I am not new in any way to groups and communities and helping, anything from events to planning committees to, just offering guidance and experience. I used to be president of 2 different groups in Kingwood. They were like MOPS groups and Mothers of Young Children groups. Let's see, I helped in a huge way fundraising for my friend who is a quadriplegic, and we got her house paid for by hosting numerous hundreds of events. And so I was a part of that for a long time. And I'm still like her #1 go-to all the time. So so I keep busy in the community, but as soon as I joined KBW, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely where I need to be. And it's been such a pleasure and so fun helping and getting it off the ground. And it's going to be growing. I just know it. So
Big plans. Yes, big plans for KBW. Our group is growing. So thank you so much, Paula, for helping me, keeping me sane. This is the first year I've actually felt like I'm not going to lose my brain and feel a little bit better about putting this event on, because large scale events, I hadn't really had a lot of experience with them until a couple years ago when we started KBW. And it just snowballed from a coffee meetup to a full scale luxury event to this area, luxury. And so it's beautiful, fun, uplifting, educational, and very connective, built on relationships. And of course, because of me, like, it has to have content building. So lots of content building. So Kingwood Businesswomen's Business and Brunch is March 2nd. I'm sure you already have your calendars marked and your outfits and everything too. It is, Nadia's like, I don't know, maybe.
Ma'am.
And it is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's at Kingwood Country Club, Nadia. And so
I'm here.
I know.
Kingwood Country Club, 10
I know
a.m.
that last
I'm just
time
making
you
sure it's on my calendar, okay? Before I
Okay.
get yelled at, because I sure will text you the day of.
Don't
and
text me the
you.
day of and be like, where is it at? So
That's what I
yeah, I know you do that to me just to get at me. Okay. So it starts from 10 to 2. I love for all of our panelists to be there at 10, hair and ready, hair and makeup, all the outfits, everything ready to go, because we open our doors at 10, and it's a great opportunity because they've seen you online to be able to go and network and share some information with them, and and then also let them know that you'll be doing questions at the end. There will be a Q&A at the end of the panel discussion. So maybe that's something that they could talk about and bring up in front of other people if they have specific questions. Then after that, of course. But what we're going to do is have, and actually let me share screen with you real quick, because kind of how the itinerary is going. This is just through here, share. Okay, so we are doing check-in at 10 a.m. There's a raffle, there's mimosas, there's brunch, there's step and repeat, there's updating your headshots with one of our photographers. There is a vendor market and breakfast, really. So brunchy bites. So that would be a good time for you to get some bites in before going on stage. At about 11:30, I'll pull everyone. I'll call you into the ladies' locker room, and it's like a card room, and we'll just go over anything that any questions, layout, introduction, and figure that out. What I was thinking for this year, and Nadia, you've been to all of them, so I was thinking of, instead of introducing everyone, having you walk down the aisle and doing like a big huge thing, just actually just being on stage and then letting us have that conversation. But Nadia, what do you think? Should we do a huge introduction, or should we just have you all on stage this year?
Yeah, I think it's nicer, like classier, to come from the back and like to the front, instead of just
You
walking.
like that?
Yeah, because sometimes people cheer, and then like, it depends. It may make some people like, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll go back to the OG. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to sit on the stage,
Yeah.
Not walk strut down the aisle. I'm not the strut down the aisle kind of girl, but if you are, then hey, the aisle is welcome.
That's what I was talking about. Are we doing, okay, you mean from the chair, like the front row VIP area instead this time, and then walk up to the stage? Okay, we could do that. All right, so there'll be an area for you all to sit down next to each other, and then I'll announce y'all coming onto the stage. Let's welcome Nadia Akaway of Akaway Law. Let's welcome Cammie. Let's welcome Susan, and let's welcome Emily. And then we'll bring you up on stage. Clap, clap, clap. And then we'll sit down for quick introductions all around. And then we'll go right into questions. So in the past, I always had like pre-made questions. This year, I want to know more about what you want to share, and what message you want to bring to the audience. And the reason I want to do that is because I know everyone has someone they want to connect with in a way for your own business, but also because I think that it's more informative when you're able to give them some like really good bits of knowledge, pearls of wisdom, so to speak, and be able to speak directly to that. So this year there'll be like no gatekeeping. It's really sharing the things that you wish that you knew when you first started your business, or when you went into your industry, and helping them be able to kind of fall out, not fall into those, the same mistakes, or even helping them progress to to a successful area in their business. So that's really what we're doing with that. So earlier, I'll use this for example, Christine King is the president of HoffGen, which is a nonprofit, and this is new for us to have a nonprofit on the panel. But she wanted to share a little bit about why and how, and also how to go about having a nonprofit. So really educating women who are not just business owners, but want to start a nonprofit to help give back to their community. And so she works with Houstonian refugees from Africa, from West Africa. And some of the things that we came up with for her quickly were, telling us a little bit about HoffGen and why she started it. But how has HoffGen been effective in the Houston area with the community of refugees. And then kind of establishing 3 things that she would like for the business, for the women that are in the audience to walk away with. So understanding proper registration for a nonprofit organization was one of the things she wanted to talk about. And she's not in, Nadia, she's not in like registration. She's just the person that does it. So I think that you could probably even have that conversation too amongst you too as well on how to properly register your business or nonprofit. And then identify who you serve and your audience for fundraising. And then she also wanted to share, creating she worked with a coach to help her create a business plan for growth because she wanted it to fit her vision. So these were 3 things that she really wanted to get out and share. And then I wrote a couple notes to make sure that I understood maybe some other conversational tips. But mainly this is it. And so I wanted to see what maybe we can go around real quick and just make some points of what we want to discuss and get to the audience. And that way I can create a question based around that. So Nadia, since you have a lot of experience in this, would you want to go first?
With regards to questions that I think they would ask, like people.
Well, I think, well, more so like, let's decide what you really want them to know. So you want them to know about trademarking their business and that Canva items can't be trademarked. And also you can't steal this and you can't do that. Like, what are the common misconceptions that possibly that business owners make early on?
That's your topic. What are the
Okay.
misconceptions? But with regards to like, I'm not going to talk about Canva. I think we talked about that last year. So I think we should switch it up, like, especially with intellectual property, like there's so many different ways to protect your IP and not just through trademark. People understand trademark as it relates to themselves and their brand and their logo and their name and things of that sort, but they also need to understand like contracts and, so I think we need to discuss, like broaden it outside of just like trademark law.
Yes, I like that. Okay. So you're working a lot with contracts, business contracts.
Yeah. So we do business contracts and of course like patents too, like if people don't even understand like whether or not, or like copyright their material, right? So they have to determine if it's patent eligible subject matter. So that determines if you can have a patent, right? And then also like with regards to copyright, some people write books and, you have authors and things that come to KBW. So they need to make sure that they have a copyright registration and then we go into the licensing of it, and that's how it generates that profit.
Right. And how does copyright registration work when it comes to authors? We do have quite a few authors in our association. How do they benefit from that?
So with licensing agreements, right? So like, yeah, or we can sue for like infringement. Just like think like you wrote something, like it's a fixed to tangible medium, like you wrote a book or you wrote a TV show or a series of children's books or things like that. So there's a lot of different moving parts when it comes to copyright. But, like even people, I don't know if y'all saw, but like the Kat Von D thing with like fair use on copyright, she did a tattoo and they sued her for copyright infringement. We could talk about things like that on whether or not that's infringement, if that photo belonged to you, Krista, the person that took the photo.
Yeah. How did that end up? Does she have to get it removed?
We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff people want to know, like, and whether or not that's considered fair use, and like, can you take a photo of somebody and then they decide to get a tattoo of it?
All right.
But you're the copyright holder, right? The photographer is the copyright holder.
Right, but then the tattoo artist is also an artist itself, so.
But there has to be transformative. There's different elements to determine whether it's like transformative or not. Look at you trying to get into copyright law.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's very interesting too, or even you like with regards to like how you sell. I don't know, we talked about this before, but whether or not you do like a copyright licensing agreement with your clients and you can license it to them instead of sell them the photos,
Yes. Yeah. And then they have to renew annually or every 6 months or whatever it is.
Depends on what the agreement says.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
And whether it's exclusive or not exclusive,
Yeah, we can definitely dive into that. I really want to formulate a good question. So why don't you think on that? I wrote some points there. But if you think on that, then we can write something out. Actually, I should probably share this with all of y'all, and then y'all can like type in whatever you want. I'm just writing notes. Okay, so Cami, I know you share a lot of stuff with your audience and your events. What few things would you like to share that I can make a question about? But what do you
Right. Right, because I could do real estate in general, because that's what but every business, even me on my business, it's like learning how to get an accountant to help you. How do you hire someone like a VA to help you? Right? Like, how do you get those things off your plate when you're starting? That could be that business side, or it could be the real estate side. I'm assuming, and those things are the same for any business, no matter what business you have. But I'm assuming I would go off of real estate. Like I'm thinking that's what people would be interested in.
Of course, of course. So I could ask you a general question about what you're doing, and then obviously you, as a business owner, we need all the other components. We need an attorney. We need a CPA.
Oh, you definitely do. You need your team. You need the copyright law stuff too. I mean, you need all of it. You really do.
Right.
Lots of different attorneys for different things.
That, though. I think people know they need it, but they just don't. They think when I'm like $1 million in revenue, then that's when I get them. You know what I mean? That's
true.
And that's one thing I've always expressed to everyone is like, get your accountant or your CPA before you even make $1. Like that's the most important thing, I think. So we can circle on that with Susan.
Yeah, because if I started, that was one thing I should have done sooner, is get a good bookkeeper, a good CPA. That's what I should have done from the very beginning. But I, of course I did it all myself. We wear all the hats, the different hats of a business.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're afraid. One, we don't want to pay someone to do something that we think we can do ourselves. But then what you don't realize is paying someone's actually making you more money, and they're doing it way better than you do anyway. So I think it's just that mindset, business mindset. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're saying to me is that, yeah, you're good at flipping houses. You're good at construction. You're good at bossing around people. You're great at speaking Spanish. but at the end of the day, you're going to make more profit when you have a team and a support around you that are to run the business versus.
You can only do so much on your own. And the quicker you find out how to get other people to do what you're not good at. Like I'm not good. I'm okay at bookkeeping, but that's not what I love, and that's not what I'm really good at. Once I got I counted in there, I was like, wow, they're way better than me, and I should have done that way sooner. But I think even with the real estate side, people have all these reasons. Well, I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough money, or I'll do that later when I get this and this and this. And it's like, but the whole property thing, I don't use any of my own money anymore. Sometimes I'm buying homes with no money, which is the crazy thing. People are like, can you really get homes with no money? Well, I do. And
yeah, I want to know about that.
It's just yes. Yeah, so we can definitely talk about that. Like,
right, because I think that's really engaging.
Yes, and your leverage. I think also another thing is people think that, well, if you do the Dave Ramsey model, that's pay off all your debt. And I think that was the biggest transition for me too, is I'm taking over people's debt, but it's good debt, not bad debt. Right. It's leveraged debt that I'm now going to make money off of. I now have an asset instead of a liability. And I think that's hard for people to train their mind in the difference for. But yeah, I'm taking, especially now, there's a lot of people that bought homes in 2020, 2021, 2022. They have 3% interest rates, 3.5%. If they have to go south, they get a job transfer. If they have to move, Some of them, if they're in the $350, $400, $500,000 price range, they're having a harder time selling them, even with the interest rates dropping just a little bit.
Right.
And or they try to turn and sell them and they don't have enough equity in them. I can just go and say, hey, you know what? I'll take over your payment. And they are so happy to let somebody just take over their payment because they're not going to make a lot of money on the house anyway.
Yeah.
And
what
sometimes they're not even behind.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy. Oh, well, it's very intriguing. And I guess that's another way, another hook that you can, at the end, teach them how to do it without money and taking them back to your class. So I think that
yeah,
that was really cool to talk on that assets versus liability. And that's all a part inside of your business, of course. And then we could circle it around over to Susan, about how you kind of need those ladies for support in that. 'Cause sounds like there's a lot of money going around everywhere. And so she's got to take track of that. So Susan, let's talk about you and what you think that would be like just dinner for these ladies. They would just lap it up.
Okay, well, I've been taking notes because y'all are saying everything that I want to hear. You need a CPA, you need a CPA. So I guess, I mean, I would love some feedback, but I guess I was going to start with, when do you need a CPA? If you're a business owner, you need one before you start. You need one from the very beginning. And I completely agree. When people come to us when they're forming, I congratulate them. I'm like, thank you for coming here first so you can get it set up right from the beginning. But then I also tell them, you're a new business, and new businesses don't always have the capital to pay a bookkeeper. You usually have to pay someone to do the tax return, usually, unless you just want to kind of wing it, which I don't think that's a good idea. But and so you try to do it yourself. And so what I usually tell our newest business owners is, let us at least help you get set up. I mean, I don't want to charge you an arm and a leg because I get it. You're a new business. And so you're going to try to cut corners and do some of it yourself, maybe from the beginning, maybe not, just depending on what your financial situation looks like. But I tell them, please let us at least help you get a chart of accounts and get everything linked properly, and at least sit down with you for an hour or two and show you how to categorize and maybe even reconcile. And then when you get to the point where you're like, okay, like Cammie was saying, I want to do my business way more than I want to do these numbers. this is not, I was made to do real estate or to run a salon or, whatever it is that your business is. Then I tell them, then you can come to us and say, hey, thanks for helping me get going. I've kind of learned the ins and outs, because you'll benefit from that as a business owner anyway, just understanding your books. And understanding how it all works. But then, come to us and we can do it full time for you. If that's, we'll definitely handle the tax return, but we can help you with your bookkeeping when you're up and running and you want to spend more time on your business than you do on your own business books. With that said, we like to have at least, and I don't want to just talk about my business, but we like to at least have a quarterly review on someone's books that we are doing the tax return, because it's just kind of painful to wait till the end of the year and then have a big cleanup. It does happen, but when we get to our busy season, when a CPA or a bookkeeper or whoever's preparing your tax return gets to their busiest season, that's a really hard time for them to help you get cleaned up. And so you'll probably get, kind of put off for a little bit and prioritized at a time where the cleanup can happen. So anyway, I know I'm saying a lot of different things, but I guess mainly I would say, when do you need to visit a CPA? If you're a business owner, you really need to have a good set of books and do it just from the beginning if you can. And if you haven't, at least book a consultation to figure out what it is that you need to know, maybe that you don't know, just so they can point you in the right direction.
Right.
And then, I don't know, y'all tell me what else people want to know. It's hard with, kind of like with law, everybody's situation is specific. There's not really a one size fits all, or, I have to be careful about giving advice to a crowd, obviously. So what else would y'all like to know?
Well, I think I wrote some notes here about how does having a bookkeeping, a team that supports you, a CPA team, how does that help you in the growth of your business?
Right. Yeah. And we when I see businesses just kind of run by like, they come in at the end of the year, and they haven't had a good set of books throughout the year. They kind of play catch up at the end of the year. I mean, that works for some people, but really to really run your business effectively, in the perfect world, you really should be able to look at your books like monthly or quarterly as you go. So you don't get to the end of the year and you're like, oh wow, I did pretty well, or oh wow, I didn't even realize that was my bottom line, just for the tax return, right? Because then when you can realize what's happening with your debt, what's happening, because people kind of live and die by their P&L, but there's this balance sheet, which is this accounting term, like what's a balance sheet? Why does it matter? And we always say in our office, it doesn't matter until it does matter. At some point, that balance sheet is going to matter. And that's more like your equity, your assets, your liabilities. And so just to have that complete picture on either, maybe monthly is too much for your business, maybe quarterly is good. But I just think it's the numbers are there. When you have the numbers, you can see what's working for you, what's not, maybe how you want to, customize your chart of accounts. So, if you want to track certain revenue streams or certain expenses, overhead, just making sure you have it organized in a way, your fixed costs, your variable costs, those can all be great tools for building a business.
And you work with business owners on strategizing that?
We do. During our busiest time, it's crunch time for bookkeeping and tax returns, like right now for about the next 9 weeks. But then the rest of the year, we do take consults, like new business consults, or people that just want to come in and say, take a look at my books, what could I be doing better? I mean, of course, if they have a good experience with us, then, we would love to continue that relationship with them as a client. But during our off season, we do take business consults.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That's good to know too, because I think I want to throw that in there as your like hook too.
I could definitely attest to her. If she's saying any of that, I can say, you know what? 2022, I got behind. 2023, we now owe the IRS for 2022 like $100,000 that we could have. If you're up on your taxes, there's write-offs. There's things you can pay your kids. You can do all kinds of things. And it's not, in some ways it's not bad because it means we had a good year. Yeah. But like she's saying, if you can keep up with it and be on top of it, then you can save yourself all that money and that can be paid back to you instead of it paying the IRS that money.
Right. There's so many.
Well, and that's where tax planning can come in with, like retirement plans are a really good vehicle for paying yourself instead of paying the IRS. I mean, yes, it might be tied up until retirement, but you might actually be saving yourselves in taxes by implementing a retirement plan and paying yourself instead of the IRS. And then
exactly.
Yeah, or maybe making a big capital expenditure before year end, because you have all this cash in the bank, but maybe if you don't really know what your bottom line looks like, you're like, oh wow, we're cash heavy right now. Maybe that would have been a good time. I mean, you shouldn't let that necessarily be your motivator, but if you're going to make a big purchase anyway, maybe it was better to do it before year end instead of in the following year. So that's where keeping a set of books fairly current, at least up into the fourth quarter, you can really take advantage of tax planning too.
Can you also explain to people the difference between a bookkeeper and a CPA? Because
absolutely.
People always call it the same thing, and it is not the same thing. And it bothers me.
And they're both very important, which is why I have CPAs and bookkeepers on our team. And so yeah, I can explain that. I mean, y'all probably know what that is.
I think a lot of business owners don't know it.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So a bookkeeper, is going to help you keep your QuickBooks. They're going to reconcile. They're going to categorize your transactions, or help walk alongside with you to make sure that you have a good balance sheet and a P&L to run your business by, preferably on a timely manner, like monthly or quarterly, at least semi-annual. Then there are tax preparers, there are enrolled agents that can file tax returns, and then there are CPAs, certified public accountants, that have the extra accreditation where they've passed the exam, they're certified with the Texas State Board. They can do a variety of things, but mainly what we do in our business is we prepare and I sign all the tax returns. There's also a whole level of assurance services like audits, reviews, compilations, which I did earlier in my career at one of the big 4 firms. But that's a whole nother level. Sometimes your bank might need an audit, a review, or a compilation that someone is giving assurance on your numbers. Like maybe if you have a lot of debt and the bank wants basically a third party to vouch for your numbers. That is not a service that we're currently offering at my office, but that's another important role that a CPA can offer.
Okay. I dig it. I love it. That's all good stuff. I mean, and then we can all, I like how we are having this conversation. I kind of want it to be like that. We haven't been able to do that. It was more like Q&A at the last couple of years, but I love that we're all going, from my experience, like, yes, you need this. And this is how you get to that level of success. And well, that brings me to like Emily, and Emily has such a wonderful story. And also just, I love her so much
Thank you.
for going after your dream and having this wonderful, incredible space that I recently just photographed her salon. It's huge, and it's in a prime spot in Kingwood. And so but I would love to hear more about not just your story, but I know that I've like straight up asked you, like, how do you go, like, how did you go from I don't want to work for someone else to I'm gonna like bank all this money and then I'm gonna just go do it, because that is like the scariest thing, and you did it.
Yeah, I feel like there are several topics I could hit, but I feel like that's definitely starting with the motivational part of it. Sharing a little bit about my story, as hard as that is, I've never shared it on stage with anyone. And I know, for those of y'all who don't know, I am a survivor of domestic abuse. And so that has kind of paved the road for how I've become who I am today. So I think I could talk about the motivation of a little bit, touch on my story, but how I went from working for someone else, not ever wanting to have my own salon, to like, I need to do this for me, and then I need to do this for other people. So I can talk about my story and the motivation in that and how I got from point A to point B. I can also talk about how to lead a group of women, how I can work with young ladies, because I do work with girls from the age of like 18 to 40. So, and we're all in close quarters. So there's not cattiness. We don't have drama. We have a gossip-free salon. And how we can implement things like that and have a safe place for everyone to work out together. And then also I feel like I could touch base, and y'all tell me which topics sound better. And then my last one, all of them? Okay. Talk about how your business can stand out from everyone else's, and how important that is for your business to thrive by making it stand out against like your competition, for lack of a better word here. But how is your business different from someone else's? Why is someone going to come to my hair salon versus Arturo's or another salon that's just a mile down the road, whichever it may be? Not going to name names on the stage or anything, but what makes your business stand apart?
Yeah.
We serve champagne, we serve mimosas, we have warm lavender eye masks, we have the most comfortable shampoo bowls. You're greeted with a smile. You're not treated as a number. You're valued as a person. So many things that go into it that you should just sit down and look at and think, like, how am I doing this different from someone else? Why is someone going to come to me for their CPA versus someone else? What am I offering? What value am I bringing forward that someone else is not bringing forward?
I love that. And because that's just really, really good. I love that because the competition part, there is no competition when you stand alone in your own brand and stuff. And I am going to be speaking to that. So that's why I feel like I don't really need to talk about all this, but like that
too much.
Yeah, because on it, because I'm going to do the keynote speaking part, and I'm going to touch on my points that are going to hit that too. So that kind of brings it around full circle. If we talk about that, because I think and maybe we do say this because there was a underlying cattiness prior to KBW in our area, and there's just no room for it. And what we do is now elevate the women around us, and so some people do get that cattiness, and there is no competition when you are doing your thing and you are separate from what they're doing. You attract the audience that
Yes.
you're going to best work
Attraction
with.
marketing.
You don't want their client. They shouldn't want your client because they're going to be simply unhappy. So both and vice versa. So
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. That would be great.
Yeah.
Also speaking to the leadership skill.
Even employees, I've never reached out to people to employ. I've only purely done attraction marketing and putting things on social media, and people come to me. I've never reached out to employ anyone. They all come to me. So attraction marketing for sure.
That's amazing. And I think that's a great incentive that you create around your business, is that you do market and promote them as individual professionals versus like y'all are all on your own. It's really important to have that support from your business leader in your group. So I think that that's a good thing to talk about too. So how do you do that?
Keeping them
as
a team.
Yeah, as a team and the synergy of working together really well and having that and you know,
creating community,
how to deal with this and that. How does that work for you?
Yeah, I think creating the community part is really important. That also ties into the attraction marketing. Like when we do go out and do things together, I do put that on social media, so that other people who may want to work there can see. But I host, like, we just had a Galentine's. We have Galentine's every February. We go to the same restaurant. We all dress up. We have themes and we do things together. We have education that we do every single month as a salon. And then I have education that I teach every Friday with my apprentices. We have no gossip policies. They sign rules and regulations whenever they start. I always say if there's any kind of drama, you want to like kill it while it's a baby before it grows into a monster. And I just reiterate that I always have their back. If there's a client that comes in that is nasty, you know, it's just being that person, you know, that day. My girls know that I always am going to have their back.
That's awesome.
For sure.
I think that's really important to know that they're not all there by themselves and themselves, you know, and behind, you know, business closed doors, you have that conversation with, we could have done it better this way, but you know,
behind closed doors for sure.
But letting everyone know, oh yeah, no, I got you. So I think that's huge. I love that. Well, I definitely want to encourage you, because I know that I will be out there too, sharing my story as well. So you're not alone. And
what are you going to talk about, Krista? Would you like our advice? Go ahead and
yeah, sure. No, I want to talk about for me, when it comes to my thing, and because the pearl idea was about no grit, no pearl. The work you put in is the work that you get, you know, the pearl that you get out of it. And so I'm going to talk about my multiple marriages. I'm going to talk about
that's my favorite subject.
My favorite subject too, right? And a wonderful life that
we got winners now.
Yes, we have winners now. So I never wanted to talk so much about the negative things, but because I've been more open lately and authentic with my friends, I feel more welcomed, and that's what KBW has done for me. And I'm less nervous. I probably still will be nervous. I say this now, but I'm less nervous at every event because all of these women have become my friends. And so, and I've been able to help them in their business, and they've helped me in their business, just like us talking right now. I like so many little different insights I'm picking up here and there. So I really love that. But what I want to share, my dinner for branding is, you know, a couple points and I was going to speak to making sure that, you know, you knew your messaging, you know, your audience, you know, who you are. And when all of that aligns, and I'm going to have some graphics and things like that, when all of that aligns, it's amazing how much more you attract the right client, people that you want to work with, how much more pleasant it is to work with them. And then you actually get to move your price point a little bit more too. So I think that that's going to be beneficial for our ladies, because in branding, you want to make sure that you have those things laid out. And if you don't, and you're just kind of playing around with your services and you're here and there and you're just, I don't know what I'm worth, then it shows and it reflects in your business as well. So I want to talk to that, but and then I'll talk about photography. I'll touch on that. And the branding of that, because I used to be Nadia's. Well, I'm Emily. I've done Cami. I've done all of y'all's. I've done all your pictures. So I'll probably talk to that and say how much I enjoy doing that and how you've been able to utilize them for marketing and how that's important. So we'll talk about marketing and a strategy for marketing. I won't take up too much time on mine. It'll probably be less than 10 minutes and we'll go from there and get right into y'all's part. And then in the past, I finished with a final question if we had time, but I think that we'll probably just go right into Q&As instead for this year and let the audience ask you individual questions to whoever they want to speak to. Is everyone comfortable with that?
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. So amazing. And I think
And what about Paula?
it really it does come down to you individually and you being yourself and you being confident and having that vision and that goal that you sticking to that goal and that vision that you're trying to promote. And you really do, like with my women's group, I was really afraid to teach real estate and especially the way I do it.
Yeah.
Because I had people doing it and they were doing it in a shady way because I have a lot of power with what I'm doing.
Oh.
So then I was afraid to teach it because what if people then take it and use it for the wrong reasons? But then what I noticed is I'm attracting people that are like me that want to do good. They want to help other people and nobody's using it in that other way. So it's like you do attract who you are.
I feel,
yeah.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. And I teach that in my branding classes where you write out your ideal client and like down to their personality and what do they like to wear and where do they travel, what do they like to eat, and I write those things out and it usually ends up sounding like someone like me and it's probably me. And so it just makes it so much of a pleasant time to work unless you're acting like everybody's my client. I want to sell to everyone. Well, when you cast a net wide enough like that, you catch nothing. So I really think that is like just a test to that. So thank you. Paula, you wanted to say something? I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about summarizing all of this. And because we're doing it from a storytelling perspective, I was thinking how like the order could be really impactful. So as you're making these notes, I'm going through and I'm thinking, who would be the best person to start off? And I actually think you, Krista, would be in that you started it and it's like a vision into what we have. And then my next thought would be Emily, because Emily had kind of a springboard to what yours is, right? And so she's talking about starting her business and the ethics, right? And the no cattiness and all that kind of stuff. And that kind of plays off of that. And then go from there to Cami, who kind of did a little bit of that with her business. And then she talked about then, getting to the level of needing to make money and needing banks help. And that then might be where Nadia would come in with, the money behind the concept, the banks, the rules, all of that kind of stuff from the lawyer perspective. And then lastly, Susan from the money perspective on, okay, so now you have all of this in place. How can you go out and make the most money as an entrepreneur? So that was kind of what I was thinking. What do you guys think?
I love it.
Yeah, I have no preference. I'm with you.
Me too. I think it sounds great. I could go any direction. I could go business direction. I could go property direction. I could go empowerment direction. So any side. I love it. You guys are great.
I love it. Paula, where do you think Christine would fit in there?
Oh, did I miss one? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
HofGen. Yeah. Probably up towards the beginning, because that is nonprofit. That's again emotion based. Yeah. So maybe right after you even, and then go into Emily. I don't know, but
I'm okay with not being first.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of think that flow might be good.
Yeah, but why don't we do this? Because well, I had her at the bottom. Okay. So she
I'm
wanted
okay with that. I feel like the idea of circling back to the
Okay.
ending, the message from beginning to end is also good, but that's just
Yeah, I feel that way. Like maybe we should, but I mean, the whole time, y'all, I do love it that we're interacting and having a conversation with each other as our experiences are
Yeah.
unfolding and talking about it. So at any time, feel free to talk with each other and interject. Obviously, not interrupt, but interject and stay within your lanes. If you don't know anything about accounting, don't talk about it.
oh gosh, yeah.
Right? I don't know, but like, yeah, definitely. So I think that works for me. Emily, you think we should put you back at the end where we full circle back in?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay. And then that
I'm
way
cool with either.
for the money, meet, real estate, Nadia, Susan, and then the dream right here, Emily.
I don't know anything about money and real estate, boo, but I'm there. Yeah, I'll be right there to pass the torch, you know?
Yes, exactly. And you're
Not
so
my field.
Yeah, she's really good at that. And then Emily has like, the young entrepreneur's dream and the, Cinderella story. So I love.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It makes the full picture when you have that story. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's awesome. Yeah, I love it.
Okay, I'm down. I think this is it. I gave y'all access to this. We can kind of finally formulate questions, but I think this is really good to start with. And making it conversational. So from here, does anyone have any questions for me about the event? Promoting.
I am literally at the mall right now, so any tips on what I should buy to wear is great. The background is blurred because I'm literally at the Starbucks mall. The mall at Starbucks.
Yeah. So it's pearl theme. I mean,
Yeah.
you can be as conservative or as Beyonce as you want. Doused yourselves.
Okay.
My outfits haven't come in yet. I bought 2 just in case one didn't, and they're both on back order. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to pull it together. I'm going to sew something together.
Okay.
So,
We are not worried about you, Krista. We are worried about ourselves.
Yeah. We know you got it.
I don't
Krista,
know.
you got it.
Girl, you will figure it out if that's what you do.
I do figure it out. Like I sewed pearls to my dress the other night for an event because it was broken.
Yes.
So I was like, I'll figure it out.
I don't even know how to sew, so there you go.
Yeah. Because we're sitting up a little more elevated, probably nothing like higher, like short, because
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
We do have production, we have videography, photography, professional. If you do have a production team that you want to be a part of it to get your own footage, they're welcome. I know Nadia had this question earlier. Yes, they are welcome. They are comp tickets for them to come and do that. Just let me know so that way we can make sure that our ladies know who are doing check-in. And what else? Outfits, production, timing.
For me, I go to Express. Express is like the sister company for White House Black Market or White House Black Market. Like it's kind of expensive, but Express is like a little less, but still nice quality.
Yeah. Love it.
So that's kind of what I do. And then I try to do like maybe just white or just black, and then just try to do it with something pretty, like the jewelry or something. But I'm not as I have my mom come to help me get dressed. That's what I do.
Oh my gosh. But you look so good in everything. So you're perfect.
Crystal, I'll just be sending you pictures later.
Okay, send me pictures. Yeah. Any other questions, ladies?
One thing on a side note, I have a lady that it's been her dream to just give back. She's a very successful real estate person, has tons of money. She's willing to spend $200,000 on an event and wants to just give back. But then I try to ask her what's her purpose. So I may be talking to Paula and you, and maybe we can create this event together. But I did tell her, I said, you need to figure out what there needs to be some kind of purpose. Even though you want to do it to just give back, you don't want to be wasting your time either. So
totally.
In the future, that's something she would love to do, but she because like again, collaborating and helping each other. I would love to have you guys.
This event actually is for benefiting HAM, which is Humble Area Assistance Ministry. And so
which is cool.
Yes. So every year since last year, we have been doing something to benefit a nonprofit in the area that does a lot of work in the area. And so Millie will be speaking before me, and who is the president of HAM, and then I'll go on, and then it's us. But if she feels like very giving that day, there is a raffle. She will get a basket if she wants to donate. So I
That's right.
yeah, have her come so she can learn about events even, or,
She knows some big people like Robert Kiyosaki. She could have come speak. She has all kinds of connections. Like that's Rich Dad Poor Dad, if you guys don't know. But I would, for me personally, on Emily's story, I would love to help battered women, homeless shelters, like
100%,
women and
yeah.
children in general. Like, so maybe if we even just hook up with some of those groups and
Yeah.
and
I
it's
love
a
that.
huge need right now. There's not enough. I just put a lady in one of my homes that was living under a bridge
oh my God.
because she left a husband that was beating her, and she's been in foster care her whole life. But there's no, all the shelters are full. So I would love to just figure out how can we fix this or help fix this problem in Houston where there's not enough housing for people.
Yeah.
Build a shelter. I'm already motivated.
Yeah, I mean, I do real
Let's
estate.
build
I'm like, I
one.
have homes. Like, maybe we need to just build one. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's a
Yeah.
great
That would be
idea.
amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
My husband's in home building, and they often take part in, HBA events and Habitat for Humanity events. And his boss has just retired and has a lot of money to throw around as well. And he is looking to give back to women and women's groups that just need assistance. And so I feel like collectively, the more we can, network and brainstorm these groups and put them collectively in, it will help us make decisions faster. Who to give money to, what organizations need things ASAP,
Right.
Yes.
This is
And
literally
there
why
are
we do it.
grants. Yeah,
Love
there
it.
are grants, and maybe we create our own nonprofit. We figure it out. Like, I'm just excited. You guys
This
are
is what
amazing.
happens when you get
Yeah.
brilliant minds in one room that are motivated, and
Right.
we can't stay together too long because we'll create something new, and that's what happens
That's right.
every single
I'm also
time.
on the board of 2 nonprofits too. Like one is the ABDA, if y'all have heard of it, Aid for Domestic Violence.
Oh, no.
Abuse, yeah, and then I'm also on the board for the Women's Fund, which helps like
Oh.
health and resiliency. Yeah. And we go into schools and stuff like that. So I think y'all should look into ABDA if y'all want to look into like
Yeah.
the aid
Love that.
to victims of domestic abuse and
Great
stuff like that. Like that's a great
idea.
organization.
When's their upcoming
Oh,
gala? Maybe we can go to that.
Yeah, they just voted me on the board, but I
Oh.
will let y'all know like
Please.
when their events are.
Yes.
that is so, isn't that cool that we've got this higher purpose? I love it. And then my mom was actually sexually abused, and until she left the house, and beaten. And I want to help her become a counselor for
Wow.
women who have been abused, like children that have been molested, but no, she would be an amazing mentor and coach, and she's willing to do it. So even if we
Sure.
create like a program, she has the whole program that she could teach everybody. And so yes, future stuff. Of course, I'm the
Okay.
dreamer, I'm the visionary, so
Yeah,
we can talk
love
about
it.
that later.
All of us. All right, girl. Well,
Yes.
I think that's everything.
Thank you.
I'll take all your time, and I know you're driving, so I want you to be safe. But thank you so much, everyone, for volunteering your
Krista.
time, being fabulous.
Krista.
Thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much. And I will just let me know if you have any questions, and I'll send all these details over to you as soon as I have them done.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Bye.
I love
Bye.
you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you
Bye.
too. Bye.
Bye.